Hoy en su Noticiero Boulder, infórmese antes de tirar, las reglas de compostaje han cambiado. Sea un creador de diversión con el Departamento de Parques y Recreación. Y únase a nosotros mientras celebramos el mes de la historia de la mujer y aprende sobre las figuras históricas prominentes de Boulder. Bienvenidos a esta nueva edición de su Noticiero Boulder. Les informa Jocelyn Avendaño. El mes de la historia de la mujer se celebra cada marzo y es un momento para honrar a las mujeres que han tenido un impacto tanto en nuestro pasado como en el presente. Únase a nosotros este mes mientras aprendemos sobre mujeres importantes en la historia de Boulder. Esta semana analizamos la historia de Hannah Barker. Aquí el informe.
Hannah Barker is an Irish immigrant born in 1844. She initially made her way to Springfield, Massachusetts, and then later ended up in Davenport, Iowa, where she somehow got credentials to teach. She made her way to Colorado with her lifelong friend Mary Davidson, whose husband William Davidson had a profound effect on the community as well. And she met Ezra Barker, who she ended up marrying. But he died after only 6 years of marriage. He had a lot of real estate holdings, and what was fascinating about Hannah, even though she was well provided for, she did not sit and rest. Instead, she actually acquired more land holdings. We could find her name on more than 1,000 transactions of real estate in Boulder County, including Barker Meadow, where we are today. What's wonderful is that this dam and reservoir still bears the Barker's name. What was amazing about Hannah is how philanthropic she was to the community. She was very involved and donated to Colorado Chautauqua. She was very instrumental in the first reading room here in Boulder, and then actually gave money to help fund the first library, the Carnegie Library here in Boulder. She was actually one of Boulder's earliest and most prolific businesswomen. Without seeking any sort of fanfare or any sort of notice for her gifts to the community, it's what she did behind the scenes. And like so many women, their history's not told because they kind of quietly made these myriad differences in the communities they live. For example, when World War I started, she was involved with the starting of the Boulder Day Nursery and actually donated a parcel of land right adjacent to it that is Barker Park in the heart of downtown Boulder. Hannah, in her own right, made such a difference in this community, primarily in things like reading, the Literary Society, the Fortnightly Club, contributions she made to the University of Colorado. And just standing on her own as a businesswoman is sort of remarkable. And I think because Ezra and Hannah never had their own children, there wasn't a generation to continue that story and share her legacy.
Esta semana, el equipo de bomberos de Boulder realizó capacitaciones en áreas silvestres.
All of our firefighters are put through a baseline set of wildland fire training that they have to get a red card that allows them to fight wildland fires. And then annually, we put them through refresher training, which involves a physical component, a refresher on some of our safety equipment, and then we create some content and make a bit of practice training, make sure that they're current and that they're ready to fight fire as the season approaches.
Esta capacitación se realiza anualmente para todo el departamento de bomberos e incluye una prueba de condición física básica y la instalación de un refugio de práctica.
Everybody has to do what's called the pack test. And so they'll put on a weight vest and they have to walk 3 miles on flat ground in under 45 minutes. Per policy, every firefighter has to carry one of these when they go out onto the fire line. It's a safety equipment so that if somebody were to find themselves in a place where they're overrun by fire, they could get into the shelter and potentially survive fire being all around them. And so as part of this training, we also make sure that we refresh everybody and make sure that they're comfortable getting into these shelters.
Capacitaciones como esta ayudan a todo el departamento de bomberos de Boulder a estar preparados en caso de situaciones de emergencia.
The way fire response goes for wildland, we tend to require more firefighters for any emerging large event. And so making sure that all our firefighters are trained and ready to respond really shortens that response time and allows us to have a quicker initial attack. And our intent is really to keep small fires small.
Haga abono con restos de comida, plantas y recortes de jardín. Eso es todo cuando se trata de la nueva guía de compostaje de la región. Hablamos con Jamie Harkins con la ciudad de Boulder para aprender más sobre esta guía. El único fabricante de compost comercial a gran escala de la región, A1 Organics, está simplificando los materiales que acepta de todas las comunidades a lo largo de Front Range. Estos cambios son en respuesta a los desafíos de contaminación en toda la región. Si todos hacemos nuestra parte, A1 puede continuar creando abono limpio que se puede usar para revivir los suelos y cultivar alimentos locales nutritivos. Si estaba en su plato o creció en su jardín, va a su contenedor de compost. Esto incluye todos los restos de comida como carne, huesos, productos lácteos, pozos de café y cáscaras de huevo, y plantas y recortes de jardín como hojas, ramitas, flores, césped y otros recortes de jardín.
What that means is that paper products, compostable foodware are the main items that no longer will be acceptable in the compost stream. So the city has a lot of circular economy goals, and we really see this as an opportunity to really shift away from disposable culture. We are really looking at the silver lining of this problem and hoping that we can really accelerate our path to a reusable circular economy here in Boulder.
Para obtener más información sobre las nuevas pautas de compostaje, visite la sala de prensa de la ciudad. El Departamento de Parques y Recreación de la ciudad está buscando personas para unirse a su equipo este verano, desde socorristas hasta consejeros de campamentos, desde mantenimiento de los hermosos parques de la ciudad hasta ser instructor de gimnasia. BPR tiene un trabajo para todos. Boulder Parks and Rec está buscando personas que se preocupen tanto por ayudar a la comunidad como lo hace la ciudad. Hay más de 300 puestos disponibles que incluyen el campo de golf Flatirons, campamentos de verano, servicios juveniles y más. Los solicitantes deben tener 15 años o más para estos puestos de temporada y por hora. Interesados en aplicar, visite bprjobs.org. Y bueno, es así como nos despedimos hoy. Muchas gracias por acompañarnos. Conecte con nosotros en Facebook y Twitter. También puede inscribirse para recibir actualizaciones de video en su correo electrónico. Solo vaya a boulderchannel.com y haga clic en suscribirse. Hasta la próxima.